yeah, here we go. Happy Monday. Welcome in. It's another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by uwager.eu. It is where America bets. It is sure as hell where this host bets. And I want to welcome each and every one of you in, hoping that your weekend was a profitable one. And judging from what I'm witnessing on gambling Twitter here over the last 48 hours, it was kind of split down the middle, 50-50. A lot of you contrarian bettors that went underdogs to continue to roll in Vegas. Unfortunately, the underdogs didn't roll very much this weekend. A lot of the favorites took center stage once again, but I know there was a lot of you very disappointed with some of the outcomes in the NFL, while some of you, well, you cashed in big time. So congratulations, and we are once again going to try and help you cash again today, because we've got a bunch of really special announcements that we want to go ahead and bring to you. I've got, on a personal note, some information that I wanted to share with you guys that I'm really excited about, and I'm now able to do that, so I will get to that coming up. We do have Scott, the CEO of Halftimemagic.com. He's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes, and Scott is coming off of a monster weekend in second half plays, and this is really something that I wanted to. I asked him to come on because whether you guys know this or not, but the guys that we bring on the show here are guys and services that we bring on that we truly believe in, because they put in the work, they put in the time, they put in the effort. We've got some cappers that show up on this show, been doing this 30-some-odd years, and we love those guys. You know, the Ralph Michaels, the Joe D'Amicos, the Tony Georges of the world. These guys are second to none. Mark Lawrence, who will also be joining us a little bit later this week. But, you know, we've got a bunch of services and guys that come on the show like TrendyBets.com, who haven't been around 30 years, but they've been around long enough to have an unbelievable track record, been around long enough to have transparency, and oh yeah, they put the work in, and the results kind of speak for themselves. And TrendyBets.com, we've got another one of their free NBA plays. They're coming off a 5-0 week last week, TrendyBets.com. They are 18-4 over the last month with their free plays on the show, one a day. They have been straight fire. We've got another one coming up, but guys like TrendyBets.com, guys like Scott at HalftimeMagic.com. Scott went 8-3 on Saturday, 5-1 yesterday in his second half plays. And whether it be Trendy Bets, whether it be Halftime Magic, whether it be Wager Talk, I use them all myself. I use every one of these services, and I use my own money to bet on their suggestions and use their information to make my own decisions. Each and every person that I bring on this show and every service that I bring on, I'm not just doing it and saying, ooh, no, I'm actually spending my own money using these guys' knowledge and utilizing them to be profitable. And I want you, because I think it's important for you guys to understand that I'm not just bringing people on who I have no idea whether or not anything they say is real or not. I can promise you that the guys that appear on the Joe Raineri Show are the real deal, and they're the real deal from the perspective of, I have actually utilized their services and continue to utilize their services. So I believe in each and every one of the guys that comes on this show. And Scott and HalftimeMagic.com are no different. And the more that I work with Scott, the more that I utilize what they're doing at HalftimeMagic.com, the more amazed I am about they might just have had or come up with an edge that we're all looking for in sports investing. And the second half, once you get used to second half betting, it's kind of hard to go back. And Scott's going to do something really cool tonight. He's going to give you guys an opportunity. He asked me if we would go live around 7 o'clock tonight and do a live streaming, live interactive, real-time betting show where Scott is going to go ahead and deliver us the HalftimeMagic.com bets as they are happening in real time during these second halves. And we've got a bunch of games in college basketball and the NBA that he'll be working on. And right here on the show, we'll be back tonight right around 7 o'clock, giving you guys an opportunity to join us live and take the place and experience it for yourself to see exactly what second half betting is all about and to utilize what Scott and the gang at halftimemagic.com are doing. And I think coming off of a 13-4 weekend, 58% over the last 12 months, these guys know what an edge is, and they have no problem exploiting it. So I'm looking forward to that. Scott's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Also, early lines, AFC, NFC. The matchups are out. Also, we've got look-ahead lines for the Super Bowl, the possible Super Bowl combinations, and we have those. We'll provide those to you. I do want to thank our good friends over at YAHOO.eu. And listen, part of what we do here is line shopping, right? If you guys don't know what line shopping is, or if you don't do it because you're only with one book, you are out of your mind. Part of the becoming a profitable sports investor is being able to get the right numbers, and you do that by having the right sports books at your disposal. And that's why I've been telling you guys about uwager.eu. It is a sports book that you should absolutely be utilizing. Great customer service, great lines, great pricing, and oh yeah, the ease of the transactions. And I mean depositing money and pulling money out. You don't have to give up a firstborn to get it done. So what you guys should do is write this down or call them at 800-UWAGER. That's 1-800-UWAGER. Give them the code JRS50. They'll drop an extra 50% sign-up bonus into your account. Open the account and get it there, because from what I have seen, uwager.eu, I keep coming back to them because of the lines and because of the pricing. Not to mention, I like being able to easily put money in and easily pull money out. But the lines and the pricing at uwager.eu are right up there. So do yourself a favor, have uwager.eu in your arsenal and call them at 1-800-UWAGER and give them the code JRS50. Get yourself an account opened up there. Get that 50% sign-up bonus. I mean, just yesterday, I was in that Saints game, as a matter of fact. I was live betting. I had uwager.eu opened up. I was live betting in that game. And the minute it went down 14-0, the minute that the Saints were down by 14 to the Eagles, the live line was, it shifted to the Saints plus 125. I could not believe what I was witnessing. It was Saints plus 125, and this was only, what were they, 14 in the first quarter. And, you know, anybody that had backed the Saints yesterday, you were never in jeopardy of going, wow, this is going to be a blowout. They're not going to have a shot at winning this game. So I jumped on the money line plus 125 as soon as it came across at uwager.eu. And I've checked around, too. There were not a lot of other books that even came close in live wagering to plus 125 when that was happening. So that's the kind of lines and pricing I'm talking about. That's what you get at uwager.eu. So guys, take advantage. 1-800-UWAGER. Use the code JRS50 and get yourself a 50% sign-up bonus. I can't stress it enough how important it is to be able to line shop and go get yourself the right number. It is so important. Also, very, very important is understanding our good friends at TrendyBets.com and what they've got going on with their free NBA play of the day. We're going to go ahead and give you that coming up here in just about 20 minutes, 5:30, bottom of the hour. We'll give you that TrendyBets.com free NBA play of the day. You guys want to talk about on fire. Nobody has been better than TrendyBets in the NBA over the last 30 days. These guys have been ridiculous. And here they go again. And those of you that are tailing them at TrendyBets on Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They've made a lot of you, including myself, an awful lot of money. So hats off to TrendyBets.com. We'll continue the road. 5-0 last week, 18-4 over the last 4 weeks, and they look to continue to stay red hot, and I have no doubt that they will with tonight's play. So that is coming up. Also want to thank our good friends at Miami Acura for sponsoring the show and making this all possible. Make sure you visit MiamiAcura.com today if you guys have the need for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle. There's only one place to go, guys. Nobody's got deals like Miami Acura right now, especially on the all-new 2019 RDX. RDX. Go shopping. Go ahead. I mean, go around, go to a few other dealerships, but just make sure that you end up at Miami Acura, because nobody, and I mean nobody's got better deals happening right now than the folks, Deborah and Tony and the gang at Miami Acura, South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay, for those of you in the 305. But certified pre-owned cars or new cars, if you're looking for that new RDX, make sure you head over to MiamiAcura.com. TrendyBets.com, free NBA play today, coming up in 20 minutes. But first, hey guys, happy Monday, and it was one hell of a weekend in the world of sports. Those of you that that cashed in this weekend in the NFL, congratulations. You got to be excited. Patriot diehards are screaming and yelling here today, saying, "I told you so," while, you know, Colts fans are a little depressed, even though it was a great season. And, of course, the Philadelphia Eagle fans, they're looking for a bridge here. It was a very, very fun weekend all around. And if you guys have been following our friends at Halftimemagic.com, then it was a very, very profitable weekend. And joining us via the Miami Acura hotline is the CEO of Halftimemagic.com, our good friend Scott. And, you know, Scott, forget about the full game lines. From a second half perspective, it was you were cleaned up here this weekend, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we did very well, which we knew was coming. You know, once the college hoop season gets on track and it's consistent, and you know the NBA is in full swing, that's when we usually start to take off, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it before your very eyes. And we did. I think we were something like 8-3 on Saturday, 5-1 yesterday. Our last 13 plays in the NBA were 11-2. So we're actually approaching the 60. We're 59% for the year, and that's at for 113 plays. So we're almost 60% for the NBA this year. And college basketball, we're starting to uptick on that as well. So it's been fun, and it's just going to get better.
It's a crazy weekend now. Those of you guys that are just joining us and you haven't heard of halftimemagic.com, Scott comes and joins us once a week, and we kind of try and educate folks, especially the newer sports bettors, who just don't understand the second half line. They don't understand what happens there and why. It's all about finding an edge in sports betting, right? That's what we're all looking to do. Always seem to find an edge. And the edge, a lot of times, Scott, comes in where you can get the best number, meaning the best line. And a lot of times, the books just don't adjust from the full game line to the second half line, and that's where halftimemagic.com comes in and pounces on it.
Right. I mean, you hit it right on the head. So, you know, for people that are new to this or not understanding how the second half works, so the second half wager is like a brand new bet, right? So it's from that point on for that wager. So if you see, you know, Kentucky -2.5 second half, that is a whole new bet. So it's basically like they're starting out 0-0. And whatever the score for the second half is, to Kentucky, they have to cover 2.5 points, you know, just like a regular game. So I think people may be confused, especially the newbies, where they think it's like some kind of integration with the full game line, and it's kind of like a live betting situation. And it's not live betting. It's a whole new standalone wager that starts when the second half tips off. So, you know, the edge is obviously, you know, these sports books put up these cookie cutter lines that are based on the full game line, right? So, you know, for instance, this weekend we had, I believe it was one of our great, I mean, just no worry-free bets was Georgia Tech versus Syracuse on Saturday. Syracuse was actually a 8.5 point favorite for the game. And at halftime, Georgia Tech was up 1. So the way the sports books work it is or the line setters, I should say, they try to move that line where it's as close to the full game line as possible on a second half basis. So that second half was actually Georgia Tech was getting 5.5. So that would have, if you break it down, you know, that would, and again, I don't want to confuse your listeners because that's a whole new bet, right? So Syracuse -5.5 for the second half as its own bet, but when you factor it in as a full game line, that would be Syracuse -4.5, if that makes sense, right? Because they were down 1 at half and they're giving 5.5 in the second, so they have to win by 4.5 more for the full game. I know it's probably a little confusing for some people, but so anyway, the regular game, full game line was -8.5 Syracuse. Halftime was Syracuse -5.5. Georgia Tech was getting 5.5. So our stats told us that Georgia Tech was the better team on the actual real-time matchup interaction, and getting 5.5 was absurd. So we thought Georgia Tech should be actually giving a couple points instead of getting 5.5. And lo and behold, Georgia Tech goes on to win by 13 points second half and wins the game outright by 14 points. So that's a team that was getting 8.5 points for the game that wins by 14, and we saw it all the way because when they actually were matching up, we saw Georgia Tech had the edge.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is that what Halftimemagic.com is, they are analyzing in real time the data from the games, and then they're taking that data to decide whether or not there is an edge in the second half for you. And that edge comes from the line not adjusting from the full game line properly, because like Scott said, what a lot of you don't understand is these second half lines, it's a very cookie cutter process where it's just that here's the full game line, here's how many points they scored, so this is how much the second half should be. But what the data tells you in the first half of these games is that's not even remotely close. I mean, even last night, for instance, I got the alert that came over the phone from Halftime Magic, and we'll tell you guys how to do that here in just a minute. But I get the alert, and it's we're looking at the Laker game late last night, the Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cavaliers were getting 9.5 points in the second half, and the over-under was 114.5 because the game, I think the game line was something, it was obnoxious, 200, it was in the 220s or some sort of obnoxious number, as if the Cavaliers and the Lakers were ever going to be able to score that. They could have played the game twice and never hit the over last night. But 114.5 points in the second half, the alert came over, and I mean, it was another one of those head-scratching situations where, you know, the line should have been closer to 105, 106, not 114.5, Scott.
Right, exactly. So the full game line was 221.5, the total for the full game. They come out at halftime, they only scored 97 points the first half. So again, based on the cookie cutter method, Vegas puts out the second half total as close to that, where it adds up to 221.5 for the full game line, right? So they try to get as close as possible. So, you know, 97, and then they put out 197 for the first half, and then they put out 114.5 for the second half. So, you know, they're just trying to get it as close to that 221.5 full game line as they can, and without any respect for what actually happened, you know, first half. And, you know, by us analyzing it, we looked at it, and we were convinced that, put it this way, we weren't surprised they didn't score over 100 points the second half. I mean, that's one of the easiest winners you're ever going to have in any type of betting. That, you know, they scored 99 points, and you're basically were 15 points under the total for the second half. It was a fun bet,
and
that way.
That's the kind, you know, and that brings up another point, is that with the amount of games that are going on at any given night, whether it be the NBA and especially, you know, college hoops, and even during football season, you can't possibly monitor them all, which is the great thing about halftimemagic.com, is that while you're either enjoying the game or you're out to dinner or you're out at the movies or whatever it is, you don't have to worry about having to be in the games and trying to monitor everything. The alerts come over the phone. They are in real time monitoring all the games, and when the edge comes up, that's when you get the alert, and that's when you go ahead, you pick up your phone, you pick up the app, you log into wherever your book is, hopefully it's YAHOO, you place the bet, then you go back to doing what you were doing and count your money in the end, Scott. I mean, that's really how it's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's the crux of it. You know, we scan every single game that's being played. Like, for instance, on Saturday, there were 140 line college basketball games, and we looked at every single one of them, right? And, you know, I think we put out a total of 13 plays on Saturday, you know, which is a lot, but it's really not relative, right? And for how many games were played between the NBA and college basketball. But the point is, you know, you're getting the cream of the crop, the games that fit the edge, and not, you know, you're not getting every game that goes to halftime. We are scanning these games. We're running the numbers with our algorithm. And, you know, when it pops up that the game is a play, then we send out a text. You got a 5 to 10 minute window to get the play in. And then you sit back and watch the game second half. So it's very straightforward and it's quick. You know, you get the play and away you go.
So here's what we're going to do, because the more that you guys understand the second half process and how it works with halftimemagic.com, the better you're going to be, the more profitable you are going to be, because and I've seen it, I'm telling you right now, once you start getting in the rhythm of second half betting, and once you team up with halftimemagic.com, it's going to be very difficult for you ever to bet a full game line again. Is that fair, Scott? Right? How many guys have you come across that after they've been with Halftime Magic, they're like, I can't bet a full game any line. Why am I ever going to do that without first having all the data from the first half?
Right. I mean, if you really think about it logically, it just makes sense. I mean, why would you want to? And when you're betting a game before the game starts, you're basing it on basically a blindness that you don't really know what's going to happen, right? Yeah, you can look at paper stats till you're blue in the face, right? But you don't really know what's going to happen in these games until these teams are actually matching up and interacting. You know, there's so many things, we've talked about it before. There's so many things that can happen in a game where it just affects, it changes the whole color of the game, right? I mean, a star player can get hurt. The team comes out flat. The team's off a back-to-back, night where they went OT the night before. Things like that, right, where you don't know if they're going to come out sharp or they're going to come out dull. When you bet second half, you know these things because you know that the stats were analyzed and you have the stats in your favor, and you have put a much more educated wager on the line. And you would think that most people like their money and want to be placing that money on a much more informed wager.
Absolutely. I mean, it is. We will say this: it is certainly a very fast-paced part of sports. In fact, you don't have 2 or 3 days to analyze a bunch of data and come up with a decision on what your best play is. The alerts will come over. Have the book open, have the book ready, be in a position to be able to make the bet, and then the second half happens and you collect your money. So the time in between when you get the alert and when you have to make the bet, there is not a lot of it. I mean, usually the alerts, what's fair to say, Scott? Usually 5 to 7 minutes before the tip off or the kickoff to the second half in these situations.
Yeah, I mean, we average between 5 to 10 minutes. Probably around 7 minutes is our average to get to play it. It doesn't sound like a ton of time, but trust me, you get the text. You literally just, hit the browser on your phone or on your desktop and pull up the lines, put the play in. I mean, it's literally that fast. You can get it in within a minute. And then, sit back. And the other great thing about second half betting is, for full game bettors, how many games have you bet? I mean, even this weekend, for instance, say you take Philadelphia, you're 14-0. You're like, man, I wish this was the fourth quarter. I wish this game was over with, right? You got to sit there and say, oh no, we got the whole second half to worry about. And lo and behold, New Orleans comes back and wins. When you're betting second half, you're getting the last part of the action. So it's like you're not tormented for a full game. It's like you're betting second half. It's over pretty quick, and you're in and you're out, and you're on to the next one. So that's another great aspect of second half betting, where you're not tortured for 2 hours.
Absolutely. And it gives you an opportunity to be able to digest what you saw in the first half when these two team match up. And, injuries can happen. So many things can happen in the first half of games that would help dictate and help influence what you would do in the second half. So why not just start there and finish there? And in fact, Scott, who is the CEO of halftimemagic.com, here's what he's going to do tonight. He's going to give you guys a live look. We're going to go ahead and stream to you guys live tonight, right around 7 o'clock. Those of you that are joining us here on Twitter and YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch, we're going to go live again about 7 o'clock tonight, so you guys in real time can see the process of these games, how the alerts come over, when they come over, why they come over, and just how easy it is to be able to get those bets in and then start, as the wins rack up, so does your bankroll. I mean, it's that simple. So tonight we're going to broadcast you guys live right here on the Joe Raineri Show, at Joe Raineri on Twitter. You guys know where to find us. Hang out with us here on YouTube, because in real time, Scott's going to go ahead. He's going to have these games broken down. I think tip is 7 o'clock for most of the college hoops. Outside of that, Indiana, Nebraska, I think is 6:30. But right around 7 o'clock is the tip off for most of the start of tonight's slate. Is that correct?
Yeah, 7 o'clock Eastern. We got a few college games and a few NBA games. It's actually a good night to just kind of show your listeners, because we're not overwhelmed with
Data.
40 games every hour.
Yeah.
So this will be perfect for viewers to kind of see our setup, see kind of walk through what we do, and watch how you get to play when we send it out. And it's going to be a good experience. And the other thing is, all these plays tonight are going to be free for your listeners, right? So everything's going to be live, so you're going to see exactly what we play and kind of follow along, and you can play the wagers as well. And the one thing that we recommend and highly recommend is, if you do play along with us, every wager is the same amount. You're not varying. You're not betting, one amount on one game and then doubling up on the next. If we lost that game, you got to stay consistent. If you stay consistent, then you will win.
Flat bet it. Everything is a flat bet. Pick a percentage of your bankroll that you would normally bet, and that's what you do. Even increments throughout the night. I mean, there might be 3 plays. There might be 7 plays. You don't know, but you always keep the bet the same. 13-4 over the weekend. Over the last 12 months, fully documented, transparent, 58%. I'm telling you guys, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. And right now, you guys need to experience it. And HalftimeMagic.com is going to give you that opportunity tonight to follow along and play in real time. As the alerts come over, as the games are given, we're going to give them to you guys, and you guys can play along, and we can all chuckle and count our money at the end of the night when it's all said and done, Scott. So I think it's going to be actually a pretty fun and a great experience for guys who don't or have not experienced what second half betting is. Nobody better than HalftimeMagic.com. So it's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun night, Scott.
Yeah, it should be very educational for some people that are, wanting to understand it better. Is it going to be a good experience to just kind of watch what actually happens and how second half betting works and how you get the plays? It'll be fun.
Yes.
Granted, it's a lot more pressure all of a sudden, but that's fine. I mean, we don't change anything we do. We have an algorithm that spits out our plays, and it knows what to look for, and if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. We don't change our plays whether we're hot, we're cold. Sit this one out. We play every time there's a signal. We make the bet, and that's how you become a winning player. You have to follow the signal, and you have to follow the same the same amounts on the bets every time. And then as your bankroll increases, you can obviously increase your wagers, but during the time period, a day, a week, or whatever, you don't want to be fluctuating your bets, and you always want to play the same plays, right? And that goes for our members too. If we go on a cold streak where we lose, a couple in a row, 3 in a row, or whatever, don't back off the play. Or on the flip side, don't think, hey, they're due, I'm going to triple up my bet on this. Just play every game the same, and you will win. I mean, we put all our plays real time on Twitter. Everything's posted on our website. You can see all our plays for every sport for the full season, and you can see the streaks right on there. But you see, we always come back, and we always trend towards that 58% or better win percentage.
Yes, that's correct. That's what it's all about. Flat bet it, be consistent, and know that when those alerts come over, they're coming over because there is an edge to be had in that game, not where you're just throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. Make sure you guys are tailing Scott at Halftime Magic. Make sure you visit the website, halftimemagic.com. But join us tonight. Free live preview. It's a free event. We're going to go real time with Scott. He's at Mission Control. As those bets come over, as those alerts come, you guys will be able to get them with us here on the show, and we'll deliver them to you, and then we can all make the plays at the same time. So he is Scott, CEO, HalftimeMagic.com. Make sure you guys look for us tonight right around 7 o'clock here on the Joe Raineri Show. Make sure you guys are following us and get ready to make it a profitable Monday night with HalftimeMagic.com. Scott, appreciate it, my friend. Always a pleasure talking to you, and we'll talk to you again here in a few hours.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to this evening.
Looking very forward to that. I want to thank Scott very much for hanging out with us. Looking forward to tonight being able to deliver those free plays to you guys in real time so you can get a little experience and get a feel for what playing second halves is all about. I think it's a very profitable edge that not enough sports investors take advantage of, and I'm hoping tonight you guys will join us in real time. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are joining us there, as well as our Twitter page at Joe Raineri, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope. You guys know where to find us. Make sure you tell your friends if they're looking to have a little fun tonight, maybe make a few bucks there, learning how to do it in the second half of games, seeing where that edge is in real time. Nobody better than Halftimemagic.com. So we'll go ahead, get ready for that coming up right around 7 o'clock. Also coming up here, our good friends at TrendyBets.com are looking to continue the ridiculous month-long streak that they have had. Their free NBA plays of the day on the Joe Raineri Show. 18-4. They swept again last week. 18-4. Unbelievable. Going for yet another win. Will they make it 2 straight loser-free weeks? Absolutely. I mean, these guys have been nothing but amazing. If you're not tailing TrendyBets.com, get your asses over there on Twitter at TrendyBets. Make sure you head over to TrendyBets.com. They got all sorts of great information there. These guys have been phenomenal. Well over 60% the last 2 months here on this show. 18-4 the last 4 weeks. I don't know what else to tell you guys, except we got another free play coming your way here in exactly 4 minutes and 15 seconds. But first, we got to say thank you to a few more of our sponsors that make this all possible here, the Joe Raineri Show. They support us. We certainly hope that you'll support them. Low-cost airlines, Superior Cruise and Travel, and our good friends at Miami Acura. If you or somebody you know is looking for a little vacation this year, or maybe he's got to fly out of town, low-cost airlines and Superior Cruise and Travel are the folks to go see. Not to mention, if it's a new car, certified or pre-owned vehicle that you are in the market for, go to MiamiAcura.com. Coming up, TrendyBets.com, their free NBA play of the day. We are 90 seconds away. Don't go anywhere. It's the Joe Raineri Show.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest-rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. That's 800-901-5536.
It's on the job 24/7 to keep your life exactly where it is, in limbo. But it doesn't have to be that way, because Laser Spine Institute can help you take back your life from chronic neck and back pain. With a less than 1-inch incision, our minimally invasive procedures have provided relief to over 60,000 patients with a 97% patient satisfaction rate. So get ready to stand tall and live the life you've imagined for yourself without pain. Are you or a loved one suffering from a bulging disc, herniated disc, spinal stenosis, pinched nerve, or degenerative disc disease? Call our spine care consultants now for a no-cost MRI review and to learn more. It's time to say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain. What have you got to lose? Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
Call 855-720-BACK. 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 That's 855-720-BACK.
Welcome back in. It's the Joe Raineri Show, and do take advantage of the great lines and pricing as well as the customer service at uwager.eu. Guys, it is so important to make sure that you have multiple books at your disposal, rather, in order to be able to get the best number. That's what it's all about. And our experience at uwager.eu has been nothing short of fantastic. 1-800-UWAGER. That's 1-800-UWAGER. Use the code JRS50 when they answer the phone, and they will answer the phone, and you'll certainly be able to understand them. 1-800-UWAGER. Tell them JRS50. They'll dump an extra 50% in your account as a sign-on bonus, and you'll be able to utilize UWAGER and the great lines and pricing that they have. Not to mention the ease of transactions, being able to easily go ahead and deposit money as well as being able to pull it out when, nobody wants to have to jump through 9 million hoops in order to be able to get your money out. It's not how it works at UWager. So give them a buzz. Open up an account today. 1-800-UWager. Use the code JRS50. All right, so we're excited. TrendyBets.com. Those of you that have been tailing us or have been following us here on the show over the last couple of months, what can I say? The numbers speak for themselves. They have been just phenomenal with these NBA plays of the day. They give us one a day here on the show, Monday through Friday. 5-0 last week, 18-4 over the month, and over 60% over the last 2 months with these plays on the show. They have been ridiculous. So definitely suggest that you guys head over to TrendyBets.com now. Make sure that you are tailing them. At the very least, make sure you guys are tailing them on Twitter at TrendyBets. Head over there right now as soon as we're done and make sure that you guys check it out. But let's take a look at today's TrendyBets.com free NBA play of the day. And they are looking at Hornets versus the Spurs. Charlotte coming to San Antonio. San Antonio laying 8.5. The over/under 223, at least as of a little while ago. Here's what we know from TrendyBets.com. The over 9-1-1 in the Hornets' last 11 road games. The over 6-2-1 in the Hornets' last 9 versus the Western Conference. We also know the over 6-2 in the Spurs' last 8 overall, and the over 13-5-1. Spurs last 19 after allowing 100 points or more in their previous game. Your TrendyBets.com free NBA play is the over 223 tonight. Hornets Spurs over 223. And make sure that you guys are tailing TrendyBets at TrendyBets on Twitter. And make sure you head over to the website. Not only is it NBA, guys, but their college hoops as well as their NFL have been just great. Everything fully documented, transparent, right there on the website. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you get TrendyBets.com working for you guys. Their free NBA plays have been straight money as they continue to absolutely amaze not only me, but you guys as well. Those of you that have DM'd us here over the last couple of weeks, you couldn't believe it either. And it's high time you get on that TrendyBets.com train right now. Tonight, Hornets Spurs over 223, and that is your TrendyBets.com free NBA play of the days. Guys have been just ridiculous. So I want to thank those guys very much for coming and hanging out with us on the show, as they always do. Love having them as a part of the Joe Raineri Show. And not only them, but also Scott, Halftimemagic.com. With those of you that might just be joining us, you might have missed the announcement, but earlier Scott came on, the CEO of HalftimeMagic.com. He asked me if we would do a live in-game wagering tonight, real time, so folks could be able to see exactly how the HalftimeMagic.com works, how their service works, how you get the alerts, and in real time kind of break it down so you can see how they're coming up with how they're the plays that they are. Now, 13-4 over the weekend is what halftimemagic.com was. Their record, 58% over 12 months. Again, total transparency. Every play ever is at halftimemagic.com, as well as their Twitter page. They do have some free plays that they pop out here and there during the day if you're tailing them on Twitter. But tonight, they want to go ahead and show you in real time, give you their plays for free as they're happening. Tip-off is about 7 o'clock in college hoops. I think we got a 6:30 game with Indiana. The Hoosiers, I believe, am I not mistaken, are they home against Nebraska? I do believe they are. No, yes, Indiana is home. I think laying 2.5 tonight against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That game is 6:30. So we're going to go live about 7 o'clock with Scott, so you guys will be able to see the plays, and the plays are going to be free. So I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll tell your friends, and you will have a chance to see what the rest of us who have been working with Halftime Magic have seen, that the market is there are opportunities in second half betting. The market just doesn't adjust. There is soft spots there all day long. And if you can identify them correctly, you got an opportunity to make some serious money. And hopefully tonight will be one of those nights. We hope at the very least that you'll join us for a little while as Scott goes ahead and delivers those Halftime Magic second half plays for you in real time, giving you guys an opportunity to go ahead and make some cash. All right. I told you guys yesterday on the on Twitter, those of you that are following us, that I had an announcement to make, some pretty exciting news here, and I'm really excited because we have an opportunity here. I have an opportunity to be able to take my talents outside of South Beach, which I'm excited about, and I'm going to be, before the end of the month here, I'm going to be hosting a brand new sports morning show on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network, heard around the country. And I could not be happier. My co-hosts are going to be some familiar faces for you guys. You're going to love it. It is a show that is going to be, it's going to help you guys get up in the morning. It's going to, your mornings will never be the same. Let me put it that way. We're going to be talking about, we're going to have everything sports and gambling related that you could need in order to be able to start your day. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day, heard around the country on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. It will happen before the end of the month. We'll go ahead and announce the date for you guys, but your mornings did just get better. It is going to, it's Make It Rain is going to be the name of the show, and it's going to start before the end of the month. We'll let you know when, but I certainly hope that you guys will join us. And the Fantasy Sports Radio Network, heard on radio stations, affiliates around the country. It's also on about 30 or so cable networks around the country, not to mention every streaming platform known to mankind, including Amazon and Apple TV and Roku and everything else. You will not only be able to hear us, but you will be able to watch us as we broadcast to you live every Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, across the country on either your television sets or on your radio. And I hope that you'll go ahead and download the app, the Fantasy Sports Radio Network app, which is amazing. They've got all sorts of new programming that's going to be launched here over the next 30 days, and we could not be more excited to be a part of that. So yep, we'll be doing morning radio for you guys around the country, and we certainly hope that you will join us and download that app. And make sure, it's probably on a radio station locally to you anyway, because they do go ahead and carry most of the programs around the country. But I can promise you, it's definitely going to be on a television set somewhere near you. So get ready to join us. I'll have more details coming here within the next next week or so, but I just wanted to let you guys know what is coming, and that is a brand new sports gambling morning show around the country, 6 a to 9 a.m. It's going to be happening here before the end of the month, and it's going to be on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network and all the affiliates around the country. So if you guys haven't done so, make sure you check them out. Also, get that app downloaded. You can take us anywhere you go. Now, what does that mean for this show? Well, it doesn't mean anything besides the fact that more people are going to get to know about it and more people are going to get to see it. We will go ahead and continue what we do each and every weekday here. We're going to continue to bring the sports cappers that you guys see each and every day. The goal of this show remains the same, and that is to provide a platform for sports, the pros, sports professional handicappers, as well as sports services from around the country. Our goal is to provide them an opportunity to be able to get to know you, and you get to know them. It's getting crazy. The sports betting universe is getting absolutely out of control. As a matter of fact, I think the numbers came out today. New Jersey SportsBooks last month, if I want to get the number right, they took in $1.24 billion in sports bets since June, and that is just in New Jersey, who we know was the one state, once the Supreme Court went ahead and ruled that sports betting is now legalized, Jersey ran right to it. So since June, that is nearly $1.25 billion in bets. Since it has become legal, and that was back in June. That is just a astronomical number, guys. And more states are getting on board, which means gambling is growing, and which means there's plenty of opportunity out there for not only the sports investors, but for the pros, the real professional sports handicappers to help you guys. But along with that kind of popularity comes a lot of shit. I don't know how else to put that. But unfortunately, a lot of guys these days are getting drowned out on social media, and it's becoming harder and harder for you guys for them to be able to cut through, which is why we created this show to begin with, kind of give them an opportunity, give you an opportunity to meet some of the best from around the country. And it's all about being a smarter sports investor. I've been saying this for how long? Knowledge is power, right? And how do you get that knowledge? Well, you get that knowledge by tailing and following and listening to and talking to the guys that have been doing it successfully for a while. And that's what we try to do here, whether it be Tony George and our friends at Doc Sports, or Ralph Michaels and the Prez and the whole roster at WagerTalk.com that we have on the show, or Joe D'Amico, AASIwins.com. The list goes on, guys. I mean, the people that we bring here and the people we're looking forward to bringing to you, including Halftimemagic.com and TrendyBets.com. It's just going to keep growing and growing, and I'm glad that there's a spot that we helped create, a spot that you guys know you can come to and get solid information from some of the industry's best, not these guys that hide behind Twitter names or hide behind websites who act as if they've got, the cure to cancer somewhere and nobody can see you, and oh man, you got burner accounts. Like, ain't nobody got time for that shit. Certainly not here on this show. The guys that we bring you know for a fact are legit. They are the real deal, and they come with knowledge. You may not always agree with what they've got to say, but that's the whole point, is that once you hear it, you can make your own decision of whether you agree with where they're coming from or you don't agree with where they're coming from. That is the beauty of this show and of this platform, is to give you the opportunity to get the information and then make an educated decision based upon your theories and how you break and handicap a game. You take what these guys say, and then you formulate your own plan and come up with, this is who I'm going with. That's how you do it. Knowledge is power. So we're excited. This show will continue on, and hopefully now that we get to be a part of a national morning show, that not only will that show really take off, but this show too will now grow in popularity. It's all about getting more people to know. The more people know, the better off everybody is, and really this show is all about spreading knowledge, and hopefully we'll all make a little bit of money along the way, but But the reality is this show's goal remains the same, and that is to make you, me, and anybody else who consumes it a little smarter and a little more profitable in 2019. And the only way I know how to do that is by providing you guys the knowledge to do so. And that's really what this goal has always been and will continue to be. Not only bring the industry's best, but introduce you guys to some of the new players on the block and some of the guys that unfortunately are getting drowned out in a social media world that everybody is either giving free picks or never loses. And, they hide behind these really crazy names, the Wolf or whatever shit, some crap along those lines. Yeah, we want you to meet the guys. We want to put them on a platform for you, and we want you to know who they are. Guys like TrendyBets.com, who have only rattled off, 18-4 over the month in their free plays. Guys that you would never have heard about if you didn't join us here on the show. That's what it's all about. And speaking of Trendy Bets, if you're just joining us, Hornets Spurs tonight over 223. That is your free Trendy Bets NBA play of the day. Make sure that you guys are utilizing TrendyBets.com. And the same way that we talk about sports books, guys, right? The same way that we talk about having at your disposal multiple sports books so you guys can make and shop lines and get the best number. And you know how we feel about YAHOO. We recommend them to you by far. But you've got to have multiple in your arsenal. You've got to be able to shop and get yourself the best number. It is crucial in the long run of being a profitable sports investor, right? Always. You have to be able to do it, which is why we recommend YAHOO. But just as important to that is also having a number of different opinions that you can get on any one given game or any one given season across the board. So you can utilize guys that, the Tony George and the guys at Docs. You can utilize the guys at TrendyBets.com and Halftimemagic. They all do something a little bit different, but the bottom line is they all bring a fresh perspective to a game that you might not have thought about. And the more that you think, the more knowledge you get, the better chance you have of making the right sports investing decision. So I hope you guys will continue to support us here on the Joe Raineri Show, and I also hope you'll take this journey with us as we get ready to broadcast around the country on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. Hope you guys will get the app. Coming up here before the end of the month, 6A to 9A, we'll be doing a brand new sports talk, sports gambling morning show that's going to be heard quite possibly on a affiliate radio station in your town, but I can promise you it's definitely going to be on a television screen somewhere near you, as not only every streaming platform, including Apple TV and Amazon Prime and Roku and Google and everything else, but you'll also be able to get us on the Fantasy Sports Radio app, which is second to none, by the way. So make sure it's a free app. Make sure you guys download that and get ready as a brand new morning show. Wait till you guys meet my co-hosts. It's going to be an awful lot of fun. I'll have more information for that when the start and when the launch is going to be. It will definitely be before the Super Bowl. It'll be before the end of the month. But I hope you guys will definitely continue the journey with us on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. And I hope you guys will continue to join us here on the Joe Raineri Show as we broadcast to you live Monday through Friday every afternoon. As our roster of handicappers expands, so does the reach of the show. And I can't thank you guys enough for making us here and the guys that show up here a part of your day. And I know in a crazy-ass digital world that we live in, you guys have a lot of choices, okay? And the fact that you would spend a few minutes and choose to hang out with us, don't think that fact is lost on me, because it's not. I appreciate each and every one of you guys taking the time to spend, come back here, whether you're watching live right now across all 5 platforms, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube Live. If you're there, I appreciate you lunatics hanging out in the chat rooms right now. But if you come afterwards and you check out the recorded stream here, seeing what you guys missed, Any which way you cut it, your time is valuable to me. I appreciate it very, very much. And hopefully the information and the people we bring to you will make you a little bit more profitable in 2019. So love you guys. Thank you very much once again for all the support. And I ask that if you like what we're rolling down here, and just be a part of it by following us, subscribing to us, liking these videos. Give us the finger. That's fine, too. You can do anything you want there. But if you go ahead and engage with us, then the tech universe will go ahead and push our content out in front of more people so we could help more people become smarter sports investors. So thanks again for your time. We'll be back in an hour. If you're just joining us, I hope you will come back as we broadcast live 7 o'clock tonight with Scott, the CEO of Halftimemagic.com. He's going to go ahead and bring you in real time second half plays tonight as if you were a member of Halftime Magic. He's going to let you experience it firsthand. You guys will be able to see. The alerts will come over. You guys are going to get the plays from halftimemagic.com for free so you can get a feel for exactly where the edge is in second half betting. It's going to be fun. I hope you'll come back and join us 7 o'clock tonight as we make you a little bit of money here on a Monday night. So on behalf of YAHOO Miami Acura, Good Greek Moving and Storage, iTicketHub.com, Doc Sports, Wager Talk, TrendyBets, Halftime Magic, and of course, you guys, want to thank you very much for hanging out and spending some time with us. Get ready. We'll be back in 1 hour with HalftimeMagic.com, getting you guys second half bets on a Monday night, college hoops and the NBA. Have a good night, guys. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.